Okay, it feels good to be here again this wonderful Monday morning. It's a bright and, of course, brand new Monday morning. This new week is going to be a lovely one, a productive one. Yes, that's what we must promise ourselves, starting from today. This is Integrity Station Splash 105.5 FM. We're broadcasting live from the big city of Ibadan, capital of Oyo State, Nigeria. You're welcome on board Sports Bang this special Monday, 24th of August, year 2020. My name is Tunde Olawuwo. If you check your time, 27 minutes before 8 o'clock, what a wonderful time to be on the radio at this time. In case you're listening for the first time, please know this, that you can be part of what we do. Across different platforms. You can listen on website by visiting www.splashfm1055.com. Just click on the icon that shows listen live and you're good to go. You can also download our app, listen to us via TuneIn, via Radio Garden, across different other platforms. Follow us on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram as well, at SplashFM1055. You can also catch us live this morning, all the vibes, the visuals, yes. On Splash 105.5 FM on Facebook. Yes, what a weekend. I'll post on our Twitter this morning. Let's, tease ourselves a little bit. Bayern München, you can call them Bayern Munich as well. They've been crowned the champions of Europe. And then somebody is asking, perhaps it's AY or maybe Blessing this morning, is this Bayern team the best ever side to win the UEFA Champions League? Let us know what you think by going straight to our Twitter page right now at Splash FM 1055. Please drop your tweet. We'll definitely take them at the right time. You also have the same thing on our Facebook this morning, Splash 105.5 FM. Again, my name is Tunde Olawuwo. In the world of tennis, Andy Murray makes a winning return. Corey Gove knocked out at Western and Southern Open. Andy Murray continued his comeback from major hip surgery after the coronavirus pandemic lockdown by defeating Francis Tiafoe 7-6, 3-6, 6-1 at the first round of the Western and Southern Open. Canadian 12th seed Denis Shapovalov showed little rust in his first tournament since February as he reeled off 9 aces to dispose of 26th champion Marin Cilic 6-3, 6-3. Big 7 Canadian Milos Raonic fired 19 aces to topple Sam Curry 6-4, 6-4 and set up a second round clash with either Dan Evans or Russian 10th seed Andrei Rublev. In the female category, the tournament lost one of its marquee names when 13th seed Greek Maria Sakkari dispatched Kokogov 6-1, 6-3 to spoil the 16-year-old American Western and Southern debut. And on to boxing. I saw that Povetkin uppercut and it shook me even off my seat. Who was the victim? Dillian White. That's the name, just so you know. Unified world heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua has urged Dillian White to find his finishing instinct after a shock defeat by Alexander Povetkin. White was knocked out by Povetkin in 5 rounds on Saturday after flooring the Russian twice in round 4. It ends the 32-year-old's immediate hopes of a world title shot against WBC champion Tyson Fury, but Joshua is open to facing White if he wins a rematch. So let us know what you think about all of this. I mean, if you check the roll call of the sides to have won the UEFA Champions League, starting with Real Madrid with their early dominance, I think as far back as 1956, they showed everybody that look. We're always going to be the king of Europe to 2020. I mean, some really interesting names. From 1956 to 1960, it was actually Real Madrid. They won 5 titles, straight. But between then and now, so many clubs have tasted this. So many are still waiting. But that's not where we're going this morning. It feels good to have you guys on the program, Sports Bang. I've got Ayobami Animashaon and, of course, Feromi Adewega. Let me start with you, Ewa.
Good morning to you today. Good morning to Feromi. Good morning to Aziz. Good morning to the listener out there. Special good morning to Bavarians or Bayern Munich fans out there. Interestingly, it was quite a game we all saw coming. Just that, at the end of the first half, it's still...
You saw the result coming?
Obviously, we did. I mean...
I was the only one that called it on Saturday.
Funny enough, I also called for PSG, but that's
When?
because I wanted.
Okay, you called
after
for
it
PSG.
left, yeah.
Okay,
and that's
so-
because I wanted my art not to like where my mouth would be.
So you didn't see it coming.
Yeah. No. I
You
did.
see, I'm that good. I hardly get things
Yeah,
wrong.
just lucky.
Oh really?
Lucky?
Yeah. Predictions are not prophecies.
I
predicted the goals.
didn't call it prophecy.
You
see,
What was the prediction again?
It predicted 3-1. I can
I
remember.
predicted
favor of
victory for
PSG.
Bayern.
Yeah,
Was it
victory for Bayern.
For
yeah.
Bayern?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Okay, you're
Because I was already. I thought you actually predicted for PSG. So
No,
I was
he
going to
actually
say next
predicted
time
for
you're
Bayern.
predicting, I'll
In your
definitely
mind.
bet it.
Okay, good morning to you.
Good
Ayo.
morning to you today.
And Feromi Adigwe again.
Yeah, good morning to you today. Good morning to you. Well, and of course, to a wonderful listener out there. You know, what a night of football we had there, right there, you know, in Portugal. And of course, it gave us everything that we actually expected of finals, apart from the goals, you know, the entertainment, the misses, you know, the saves, and of course, the tackles right there. And it was an exciting one that we actually, you know, thought to actually live up to expectation. And it did, you know, one of my favorite finals that I've seen in the past 2 years, unlike the final we saw last year, talking about that Liverpool-Tottenham, it was a boring one. But this one, you know, it actually lived up to expectation. And, you know, so unfortunate for PSG that they couldn't actually, you know, get this on the first, you know, trial, get into the finals of the Champions League. But then it's not over. They've been there now, which means probably on the long run they can actually get a much more experience on getting there next. Maybe they can actually get it done. But then there's still a lot to be done for that PSG team. But right now, I think Bayern Munich are the best team in the world at this point in time.
Okay, before we talk about the Champions League in details, let's quickly look at boxing. You know, on Saturday, I expected more from Dylan White, but I mean, in 5 rounds, you know, for somebody who actually wants to be, you know, regarded as, you know, one of the top shots in the heavyweights, I found that a bit disappointing, Ewa.
Yeah, definitely it is. And I mean, it begs the question whether he's actually bound to make it to the top. This was going to be at least his best shot ever, because if he had won this, then he stands a chance of actually challenging the winner between Jordan Wilder and Tyson Fury. And there is no better shot for you than that. There is no better motivation for you to come out, you know, guns blazing, and indeed, you know, getting one over, you know, Povetkin. And I dare say he actually tried, but I think his effort just wasn't enough. I think before that he got knocked out in the 5th round, he also landed a bit of, heavy punches right on Povetkin, I think twice, that should really have knocked out, you know, Povetkin. But somehow he was able to just overcome those moments, and he came back stronger. That's exactly the stuff of champion, which I think, you know, Dillian White couldn't come up with in that particular fixture. And it also begs the question whether indeed, you know, is ever going to really make it to the top. I have my reservations, but I think each time also has to go, you know, to Povetkin. It takes something extraordinary without, you know, the fans to still come and put up an A game like that. And I think that obviously worked in favor of Povetkin. Had it been there were fans, maybe each chunk of them would have obviously rooted, you know, for Dylan White, because the bout itself was held right there in UK. That's the Matchroom headquarters. And because the fans were not available to come in, and then it was pretty much a neutral venue sort of. And that's exactly why I think, you know, Povetkin was able to just, you know, garner as much required strength, as much required agility, as much required mental stability to be able to, you know, come back from those 2 knockout punches and still eventually win against Dillian White. So I think White has his work cut out now. I'm still trying to get my hands on the facts now. It seems there's a clause of a rematch between these 2 lads. If that eventually happens, then you can argue that maybe Dillian White has got a second shot at prominence once again. If it fails at that again, then I think the man is just not destined for the top. But for Povetkin, even looking at his resume, looking at his history, I think he has lost just 2 bouts in his professional career. One to Klitschko, the other to Anthony Joshua. And you can argue that, you know, Dillian White doesn't belong to the category of these 2 guys. So that says a whole lot about the fact that Povetkin came into this particular bout with his A game and definitely had his way. I wish I could say the same for Dillian White, but unfortunately that's not the case. So I think the work is just cut out now for White. If you're ever going to make it to the top, I mean, these are the kind of bouts you should be winning. But unfortunately, he didn't.
Well, I mean, is it possible for maybe Dylan White to look back and say, well, I was demotivated, we didn't have crowd in the stadium?
I think that's not an excuse.
Exactly.
It's really not an excuse. If you are truly
Yeah.
going to show that champion stuff.
But I mean, does it not make it look strange? I remember when Anthony Joshua fought Joseph Parker in 2018, I think 4th of April. They had around 78,000 people.
I think at the Wembley Stadium, right?
Yeah, no, at the in Cardiff, the municipality stadium.
Yeah.
But to think that you can have a major fight in boxing and there's absolutely nobody aside from maybe trainers and
I
few
think,
VIPs.
Yeah, to some extent. Yeah, definitely. I think to some extent, we might want to say that the fans is very, very important. When it comes to a game, fights like this between two top guys. But
I don't know the most important.
I think they are because when it comes to the financial aspects and of course the sharing of their support for the man in the ring is very, very important. But then you also look at the fact that there is also nobody to cheer Povetkin, and he actually did the job. It was like I said, it was actually giving those two body shots and punches to actually knock him out. I think in the second and third round, but he still didn't give up in that particular fight. He came out tops and he was determined that was going to actually defeat Dillian Whyte, and he did that. So I think that is not a huge and enough excuse, enough reason for Dillian Whyte to actually win.
That's my own
to
excuse.
lose. I don't think
it's mine. It's mine.
I don't think it's valid. Let me ask you this.
So,
okay, if you are making an excuse for...
I'm not.
You just said it's your excuse.
I'm just posing a question.
Okay, I understand. If you're posing that kind of question because the bout itself was held at a neutral venue, supposedly, because there was no fans. Okay, what if it's now been held in Russia? The home country of Povetkin, with fans allowed into the stadium.
See, the thing is that Dillian Whyte is a black man.
Oh, really?
You see, you heard me when
here we go again.
We own
No. He has a valid point.
We own this game.
He has a valid point.
This game of boxing, it should be ours.
Absolutely true.
I mean, you need to see how bad it was for me, when the Klitschko brothers were dominating the heavyweight, because
it's strange.
I mean, strange. This,
I just think
we see how Joshua.
Well, that's because they are good. Somewhere. That's why they dominate.
But because our guys, I think they allowed them.
Yeah.
They allowed them.
They allowed them, really.
Yes, and they're coming back. Okay, let's quickly return to football because this morning we would like to hear from you. It's a special Monday morning. Please get these numbers down: 0809 155 1055, 0805 699 8678, or 07069 493000. Bayern Munich overcame Paris Saint-Germain in a tightly contested Champions League final in Lisbon to claim the crown for the sixth time. Kingsley Coman, who started his career at PSG, settled a tense affair with a 59-minute header at the far post from Joshua Kimmich's cross to leave the French giants still searching for that elusive Champions League triumph, despite the huge amount of investment that has gone down into that club. It was a night of joy for Bayern coach Hansi Flick, who added the Champions League to the Bundesliga after initially taking over as interim coach from sacked Niko Kovac in November. So they've done the treble as I predicted, and it is what it is at this point in time. You predicted it.
Yeah.
Yes, I recall that. But of course, they still have a long way to go to catch up with Real Madrid on 13 UEFA Champions League titles. But I mean, Bayern, they've been, like you said, the best club in Europe this season.
Yeah, absolutely.
Unstoppable.
Oh, absolutely. When you win all your games en route to lifting the title, I mean that's a huge stake, for the claim of being arguably the best team to have ever lifted the title. And need I say that they also came up against some of the best sides in the history of the competition. They defeated Barcelona 8-2. In fact,
have to remind
scrap
us,
the word
know.
defeat. They mauled
We know.
Barcelona 8-2, defeated Chelsea, I think 7-2 or 7-3 as well en route in the quarterfinals. In the group stage, they also mauled Tottenham. They were just reckless. They were relentless, rather. And of course, they got over their oppositions with reckless abandon. Fine, the game against Paris Saint-Germain on paper promised a lot of goals, but that didn't live up to expectation. But I think it's perhaps down to the fact that the stage was quite big. It takes only a handful of players to be able to deal with that atmosphere, to deal with that expectation, and obviously the nerves that will actually be flying around in that kind of fixture. And they did that. They made the decisive decisions, especially in the final third, and that's why they're actually coming out tops in this one. So I dare say yes, they are unarguably the best team in Europe right now, and records, facts also back that up.
Now let's look at the post that we have this morning. Fermi, in the pantheon of great European club sides to have dominated the Champions League. I mean, you look at Real Madrid in the early stages. At some point, AC Milan. Later Barcelona, and then Bayern. Always in between. Where would you place this Bayern team?
I think for me, with what they've done this season, I think they've said it all. I think they're the best for me because
This season,
that's
no
it.
doubt.
No
But,
doubt.
I
No
mean,
doubt.
if you go back,
Well, if I go way back, probably starting from the 2000s, looking at teams that have actually won it in the past when Real Madrid was dominating, Liverpool came on board, they gave us that unexpected comeback in that particular one. I think it was 2005 or thereabouts. And of course, Barcelona, I think in 2009 as well, doing a very fantastic job right there, not forgetting, Liverpool too. But this Bayern Munich team, they have something different. And that is the fact that they won all their games that these guys never did during their playing times right there in the Champions League. And that means a lot that, hey, we are dominating the Champions League. We have actually dominated this Champions League this season. And you can't take that away from them. You can't be scoring, those kind of goals against a so-called big teams in Europe. And you tell me they are actually not the best so far. Because, look at these teams that they've actually defeated. They've actually scored nothing less than 8 goals home and away on one leg in defeating likes of Tottenham, Chelsea, and of course Barcelona. And this time
they
around,
probably would have scored more.
Exactly, if it was 2-leg affair between Barcelona and Bayern Munich. So I think, for me, they've actually laid a huge claim to this Champions League that they are actually, the best team so far for me that I've seen in the Champions League. But, talking about a game, I think, 6 things that I actually learned from that game. Like I said earlier, Bayern is definitely the best team in the world at this point in time. And of course, I think Malinois will always be a big team player. Will always be a big player in big matches because, it's too tall. It was like one of the major difference to Bayern Munich actually winning that game yesterday. And of course, this is a man that has kept a clean sheet both in the Champions League final and of course in the World Cup. And not forgetting the fact that, Mbappe, I was really a bit disappointed with him yesterday. I expected more from him, but he gave me a Rashford performance in a big stage like that. I didn't expect that from him.
Gave me what?
Let's move on.
Okay, well, I mean, you had your take there. Dave Songs on Twitter says, I think they deserve the cup. Alabishe Gunlada says, I think Barcelona team that beat Man United in 2009 is better off than this Bayern team.
Really?
Of course, it's always going to be up for debate.
It's always an opinionated
Maybe
conversation.
at the appropriate time, we open the phone lines this morning. We still have the BBC Premier League updates around the corner. Meanwhile, UEFA President Alexander Seferin says the single game knockout format used in the Champions League this year from the quarterfinal onwards has produced more exciting football than the usual 2-legged games and could be revisited in the future. So wait to see what happens. And in Spain, Elche were promoted to La Liga by beating 10-man Girona 1-0 away thanks to a goal deep in stoppage time from Perimila in the Segunda Division playoff final. Return leg on Sunday after the first leg had ended goalless. Barcelona midfielder Miralem Pjanic has tested positive for COVID-19. The club announced this yesterday, and Italian side Parma have now sacked their manager, Roberto Del Verso. Paul Pogba will not be sold by Manchester United this summer, and new contract discussions will start soon. That's according to his agent. Quickly, we'll take a break to catch up with the BBC Premier League update. We'll be back in a moment, maybe to take 1 or 2 calls before we leave. Stay with us.
BBC Premier League update from the home of Premier League football.
Hello, I'm Alistair Ross at BBC Sport, and Bayern Munich have drawn level with Premier League champions Liverpool on 6 Champions League titles. They are the European champions after a 1-0 win over Paris Saint-Germain. Bayern had beaten Chelsea 4-1 on their way to the title, and the former Chelsea striker Chris Sutton says it's a deserved win.
They work for each other. They have that desire. Goretzka in the middle of the park was an absolute animal in there, breaking the play up, and they were the better team. The difference was, in this game, is they were fitter, they were stronger, and that's what won them the game.
Leicester City are eyeing the Ajax defender Nicolas Tagliafico as a replacement for the Chelsea-bound Ben Chilwell. The Argentine has 2 years left on his contract with the Dutch side. The Foxes set to receive $65 million for Chilwell's move to Stamford Bridge. BBC Sport understands Wolves are keen to sign the Arsenal defender Ainsley Maitland-Niles. The 22-year-old made 32 appearances for Arsenal last season and started the FA Cup final win over Chelsea. The Gunners would be open to offers in the region of $25 million, Newcastle and Everton, the other interested parties. Defender Phil Jagielka and midfielder Jack Rodwell have signed new one-year contracts at Sheffield United. 38-year-old Jagielka and 29-year-old Rodwell had signed short-term extensions in order to keep them to the end of this season. And Manchester United's hopes of signing the Wales midfielder David Brooks have been boosted after Bournemouth admitted they would not stand in the way of any player who wanted to leave. And for more football news from the BBC, go to bbc.com/football.
BBC Premier League update from the home of Premier League football.
Okay, great to have you back on Sports Bank this morning. There you listen to the BBC Premier League update. Let's see what we have here. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Can you, Emmanuel?
Okay, Emmanuel, what have you got for us?
Yeah, well, just quick one. Just want to talk about the match yesterday. For me, I think I wasn't surprised because right from the onset, you have the cockine, the low, the high, and the mighty. Talking about the Bayern Munich. So I was surprised today. Because for me, I think even right from the power by the defeated Barca, so I was like, wow. For a team to defeat Barca, then who's going to stop them? So Page wasn't gonna stop yesterday, so it is tough switch for them. Man, kudos to them. They are now on the same level, on the number of UEFA Champions League won with Liverpool. So kudos to them.
So for those who are saying that this is the best, Champions League side ever, what's your response to that?
True talk, they deserve that. Seriously, they do deserve that. The conquer of the whole of Germany last season, they won all the cup. So this season now, they won the UEFA Champions. So for me, it's just the best moment of their life.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Yes, sir. Real Madrid on 13, AC Milan on 7, Bayern and now Liverpool 6, Barcelona 5, Ajax 4, Inter Milan 3, Manchester United 3, Juventus 2, Benfica 2, Porto 2, Nottingham Forest 2, and we have a long list of
still
other
searching
teams
for Man
on
City,
Where is that
Arsenal, Tottenham.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Chile.
Yes, good morning, sir.
Yeah, this is Emmanuel calling from Maya.
Okay, another Emmanuel this morning. Good morning to you.
Quickly, what the UEFA president said, I think it may happen very soon. But there will not be home and away games again. I think it will save money and it will save safety of fans traveling all the about and players also. So I think it's a good idea if they can work towards it. And on PSG victory yesterday, Bayern Munich victory, we deserved victory. Though PSG was the better side, but Bayern Munich.
I think you wanted PSG to win. If I said on PSG victory,
and now you're saying PSG are the better side.
The better side won. Is that what we say all the time?
It was a mistake.
Mistake.
So now, which one?
Watch the match. Freely that any team.
So which team was better yesterday? Just so we know.
The team that won the trophy.
Oh, okay.
Now we know.
All right, thank you so much, Emmanuel, for calling. We really have to go right now. Front page of Sporting Life: Bavarians crowned champions of Europe again. Wins 6th UCL title. Koeman scores 500th Champions League goal for Germans. Release clause: Barca would demand £631 million for Messi. If what? Who's going to pay that kind of money for a 33-year-old player? Even, yes, it's Messi, but still, £631 million.
PSG can.
I don't think they will.
Manchester City can. They have the money.
I don't think they will be that
But I
crazy.
know Arsenal cannot.
Okay, your final take, guys.
Okay, for me, unfortunately, COVID-19 would deprive Bavarians the opportunity to celebrate the Oktoberfest this year. It would have been one to look forward to, judging by how successful Bayern Munich were this season. But nevertheless, I'm quite sure they will still be basking on the euphoria of lifting their 6th year for Champions League title.
Congratulations to Bayern Munich. Fermi.
Yeah, congratulations to Bayern Munich. And of course, quickly in the world of basketball, Toronto Raptors and Boston Celtics have actually qualified to the semi-finals, and they will be taking on each other, right there in the NBA playoffs. Always good to be here.
I wish I could speak a bit of German, but
You can do Danke.
It is what it is.
Danke is enough.
There's something about them that I love. But
What's that?
hey, what's the time? It's 7:50.
We have to go.
We can't talk about that.
Oh, really?
Have a lovely Monday. Bye-bye.
Splash FM 105.5.